Time. Hey, good morning. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. And I am Snoopy. I am doing a 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. I'm a guest speaker. My name is Craig Mester. I'm an Agile coach and Scrum Master here on 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. This is episode 149. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way. And they get you home to your family and friends so you can have some fun, do some, side things you like to do, and build business revenue, and also help your company, help yourself do more work, less time, less effort, hopefully with less stress, and have a little fun as we do it. And today I was kind of thinking what I want to talk about, but then I wanted to, the holidays coming up, and thinking of ways, to get you home to your family and friends, and not do so much work and de-stress it. And I'm going to talk about a couple things. One, I'm going to talk about something beginning Scrum Masters make mistakes on that gives them a lot of work to do, and then tasking, a nice way to get people to task out the work, because I found that is something that beginning Scrum Masters kind of don't do as well on, or beginning teams don't do as well. They don't take it seriously, and it takes a lot of time. And I've had a couple experiences where people had to do a lot of extra work, and I go, really? And I gave them tips to do it, and then you get out of the thing. But I bought Snoopy because at first I was looking for something for the show, right? Something you can toss, during Daily Scrum. We always talk about, have the talking stick, and I got the little Snoopy character here. And then I thought about it, and I accidentally hit it, and it actually makes a sound. We're going to do that in this show. And then I'm thinking, like, how long does this song last, right? So I got this, right? And maybe you could do this at home. I mean, you can get these things at the dollar store, Five Below or something like that. And I'm going to reset my phone alarm, and I'm going to start it. And then I want you to think about how long it really takes to do this. And I'm going to tell you how long this song really is. So if you were doing a daily stand-up and people talk a lot, how much time it takes. And if you're co-located, you could do it. Actually, you can stick it on your desk. Okay, we're putting a timer on. It's going to be this song. We're gonna manage it. So I'm gonna hit the song. And this is a Snoopy, all dressed in Christmassy stuff, and they're gonna have a Christmassy song. So I'm gonna hit the button, right? And then you're gonna think how long this really lasts. So it's like under 30 seconds, right? And it seemed like a long time. So if you're doing the talking thing and people talk a lot during Daily Scrum, you could say, hey, does this sound like a long time? It's only 30 seconds. You can get a team, when you're doing Daily Scrum, and you gave them 2 plays of this little guy, and you had 8 people, your Daily Scrum would be 8 minutes long. Think about it. We'll play this again at the end just to remind ourselves. Anyway, so this is a great little talking stick. It may be a little loud for, I don't know if there's no volume button when you went from a dollar store, but it's a great little talking stick to give people a perspective of time. And you should play it before and say, hey, does this sound like a long time? Well, that was 30 seconds, right? So there's no reason why we can't get through Daily Scrum in a pretty reasonable fashion as long as we stay focused. And that's all about the facilitation. And we talk about it a few episodes, and we'll talk about it more on how to get people down to the right amount of talking during Daily Scrum. But don't really want to talk about that today. I just don't want to give that to you. So a couple things, something Scrum Masters do, and you have Jira, you have VSTS, you have version 1, Trello, right? You have all these different projects out there, and Rally and a couple of things to manage Scrum boards. And one I noticed, one of the things that they say for Scrum Master, you're the servant leader. Well, servant leader doesn't mean updating the system for the team. It doesn't. And at first you may think it's hard. And I've had Scrum Masters like, Greg, what are you talking about? And when I work with Scrum Masters, I'm like, dude, you don't update the system for your team. You get on your team to do it, and sooner or later they'll do it. It doesn't take long. It may take a couple weeks, I'll be honest with you. Some teams do it lickety split and they're good and they update everything and everything's good. Some teams don't. But you know what? If you harp on them every day, I'm sorry. This is the job of a Scrum Master, is to get them to own the entire thing about the work they do. Owning the work includes entering the time which they do the work in. Now, I'm not a big time or minute time or hour kind of guy. I really don't. I just want to know that you started work and you got work done. And me personally, there's other places that want to know. We need to know exactly how many hours you spent on this. I don't really care. Okay. Ideally, I would never, ever ask ever on how much time you spend. I don't want to. I'd rather just know that you're working on it and it's done, or if you're blocked. Other than that, I really don't care. Other places do. So you got to do what those corporate places want you to do. But you try to make it as minimal as possible. So, but what I harp on is when you're a Scrum Master, get as fast as you can out of the habit of updating people's stuff in Jira and ask them to do it. You can do it during Daily Scrum. Some people say, hey, let's update the board while everybody's there. I mean, that's awesome. You know what, though? I'd love to see people just go up on the board in the middle of the day and update the board anytime during the day, because that means stuff's working. I don't want them to wait until the last minute or Daily Scrum to update the board. To me, everybody says, oh, well, update the board during Daily Scrum. Why? Right? It doesn't make any sense. To me, it's a waste. It's not a lean. You're going back to the old reporting out mentality. Like, no, as you get stuff done, walk up to the board, move it over so everybody can see it, and they'll see it. When you go to Daily Scrum, you can point to it. Hey, I moved that over there. That's all you need to do, right? But you shouldn't be updating during Daily Scrum. You shouldn't be updating stuff for your people. What you need to do is you don't need to call them out during Daily Scrum. You don't need to call them out in the meeting. You need to reach out to them individually, one-on-one. Hey, can you update your stuff? And you need to do it every day. That's what a coach does. That's what if you played sports, what's the coach do? What are you doing? Nothing. Why? Or, did you do that? Did you update the board? Yeah, I did. I didn't. Go update the board. Okay, I'll go update the board. Sometimes you just have to do it. So, but that's one piece of advice from a Scrum Master, be able to go home and have less stress. It's not your job to update other people's work. They have to own it. Part of owning it is updating the work in the system. You got to get them to do it. So for you junior Scrum Masters, you got to get out of that as soon as possible. And they're going to be a pain in the ass, and they're not going to like you. They pestered me because I got to update my system. Well, you know what? You got to update your system. That's your job as Scrum Master, is to get them to update the system. Keep the flow. So anyway, that's one. So that was the Scrum Master thing, right? The other thing, tasking. A lot of teams, and they have different levels, and every organization is different. I'm just going to say from one of my experiences. So remember we had the challenge for a sprint planning session in the last 5 minutes. There's no reason if you refine your stories, you got your estimates and everything looks good, and the sizing the same, nothing, and the product owner rearranged the order and the priority they wanted, that you can't do a sprint planning session in 5 minutes, because you just say, hey, yeah, everybody looks good. I don't see any changes. Thumbs up. Let's do it. And that's your planning session, right? You can have some conversation. So within 5 minutes, you can do that. So after that, let's say it's a half hour or an hour. Worst case, an hour. An hour would be like a 4-week type sprint. You get a 1-week sprint. If you spend more than, 15, 30 minutes max for your sprint planning session where you agree on the work you're going to do, you're spending way too much time on it, and you're not doing the other stuff. so you know. But let's say you do sprint planning. Then what you do is you're this tech people. Maybe you have a senior tech and you have a bunch of junior people. You have a new team that are learning how to do stuff. What you can do is give everybody stories, not necessarily to work, but to task. And you say, hey, Bob, Sally, you task these stories. Jimmy, you do that. Jane, you task that story. And let them task it out. Then what you do is you come back as a group and you go over all the taskings for all the stories. So everybody on the team has a view of what the tasking is. Everybody in the room doesn't have to be there during tasking. It's okay. I mean, if you want to do that at first couple rounds, everybody's in the meeting room for a couple hours. It's not going to be really good. I'd rather have them go to their desk, task it out, then come back and as a group review it and see if everybody agrees you got the right tasks and the stuff that needs to be done in the story. It could take 5 minutes. It could take 4 hours. It doesn't matter. But then you come back and review it. Now all your stories are tasked out for the sprint. Where I've seen this happen, and the reason why I say this, you do this. I had one tech lead, and we had a bet. And I don't know if he's watching the show, but because I did send this to him. So there was one day. So he has all this work this team needs to do. He's like, I'm going to task it all off for the team. Just get it done. I'm like, really? You're going to task it all off for your team? Just going to get it done? He's like, yeah. So he was up. I have a boy that just walked into the room, and I don't know what he's doing. Oh, God. Okay. We're doing live, and they get people coming in here. They can't wait 5 minutes, but they have to do that. Can I help you, Eddie? What do you need? Okay. Don't take the lights out, please. Anyway, we're back. So it's 5:55 in the morning. Yeah, no, can't do it. Anyway, so the guy says, I'm going to task it all out. Really? I said, you're going to task all those stories out all by yourself tonight before everybody starts up in the morning and starts working? Yes. I'm like, good luck. Next day, I see him. He looks tired as it all be. I go, so, how late did you stay up last night tasking all these? 2 o'clock in the morning. Really? Did you get them all done? Yeah. Are you going to do it again? No. So it's really important to get everybody else to task out their stories. Or you can be the one who sits in your up until 2 o'clock in the morning and task out your team stories. So my offer to make your life easier, quicker, is to get out of that business. Get your team tasking out stories. It's a great way for them to learn, and you can give them tips and tricks on coding and stuff like that in the stories later. So, got that interruption. It's 5:56 in the morning. I'll get it. I'm trying to get up early. Right, Bubbles? I got Bubbles here. See? Well, she's sitting on her tail. She's like, don't touch my tail. Ooh, touch tail. Ooh, there's a tail. Anyway. All right. So that was my 2 things. 1, Scrum Masters, don't update the systems for your team. Get them to update as soon as possible. It may be a pain in the butt for like 2-3 weeks being done, but you're going to appreciate, because you're going to work with this team for next year. You do not want to be their servant. You're supposed to be the servant leader. You show leadership and how to serve them and help facilitate them to get things. 2, tasking our stories. If you're a tech lead on a team, don't write the task for your team. Get your team to write the tasks as soon as possible. Or you're going to be like my friend who was up until 2 o'clock in the morning tasking out stuff, come back the next day and say, yeah, I'm not doing that again. And the sooner you do it, the better. So those are the 2 points. I'm going to play the video one more time. Let's say I want to time this out. Ready? Here comes Snoopy. Close the show. Snoopy. Snoopy. Near the microphone. Now, this is what you do during Daily Scrum. Everybody says it takes a half hour to do Daily Scrum or 15 minutes to do Daily Scrum. And this is a very long song, right? That said 26 seconds. That entire song is 26 seconds. You get 8 people, 30 seconds, be done in 4 minutes. 4-minute daily scrum. It doesn't take that long. How much work do they really get done there? I'm going to do 1 or 2 things. I get into it. Anyway, it's off. The show's over. 15 minutes. Please ring the bell. Tell us you like it. Share with your friends. Let them know. Give us a thumbs up. You see us on the show, social medias. Please share and all that kind of stuff. And you all have an awesome day. It's Wednesday. I get to do more PI planning for another organization today. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Take care. Happy scrumming. You have a great day. See ya. Goodbye.